Okay. Not sure. Oh, it hasn't started yet. Oh wow, hang on, let me clean that screen off. Okay, don't worry, this ain't gonna just be playing video games here. Nah, that's not what this is. And I'm not gonna be showcasing the Thunderblade just yet. Not, at least not in this stream, because I still gotta work out some kinks. I figured out what I did wrong apparently, and it seems that would be having the two blades too close to one another. It's messing with the conduction of the stun gun, so I gotta fix that later on. That's gonna be a pain, but once the process of that is done, then it should work just fine. Anyway, what I wanted to do is basically give people the information they need to know in order to how should I say, in order to deprogram themselves from the hive mind system. Now, here's the deal with the hive mind system. If you are a target individual like myself, you are aware that you are being surveyed by many different people around you. This could be your neighbors, your family. This could be your co-workers, etc. Could be people even from out of town. Now, they use a lot of methods to basically gain your attention, and you see that's the point. Everything that they do is bent on getting your attention. Everything that they do that is meant towards getting your attention is an attempt to basically program you. The thing you need to learn how to do, and this is going to be great, sufficient to you before you start really going after these criminals, is to simply learn how to ignore them when you go out. Learn how to basically, it's not easy, but it takes practice, but you can be able to basically get the knack of it. Basically, what you're going to want to do is pretty much get yourself in a position to where buffering. Okay, buffering. All right. And this thing is looking kind of blurry. I think definitely. I don't think whatever I just used helped. Just give me a minute. I want to clear off that screen. But anyway, what you need to do is get yourself in a adjusted to where you're not reacting to every little thing that they're doing. Because little do you know that these things that they do, they were already predetermined before they even showed up to do it. These things that they're orchestrated and told to do are all choice reference patterns that are being put within the supercomputer that is basically making attempts to connect to you in program as they're doing these acts in real time. Now you may be wondering, well, how do I, deprogram myself from this, right? Really think about what they're doing, right? Think about it. Everything that they do is negative, right? Everything from what they do, from what they say to what they talk about is all based on negativity. I've said it before and I say it again. All of it is basically directed to lower your spiritual frequency. So the mere solution is to basically convert that energy into positive. You need to convert that program, the negative energy, into positive energy. Now, when you do this, things are going to end up being somewhat different. Now, you may be wondering, but wait a minute. Now, how would this be somewhat different? Quite simple. The difference is when you are basically are amongst too much negativity, that stuff starts to overwhelm you over time. That negativity starts to basically start picking at your psyche, and the more and more it picks off at your psyche, the more and more, this might be too loud, the more and more it starts picking off at your psyche, the more and more it really starts to mess with your head, because then it gets to a point to where you're bombarded with the same thing over and over again, to where you start it's a way to basically force you to question yourself. So what you need to do is basically stand your ground, put your foot down, and say, no, I'm not finna be a victim of this. No, I'm not gonna succumb to any of this. No, I'm not gonna sit there and just allow this. No, I love me. So how would you, if you love yourself, how would you treat yourself, basically? And that is not coming out right. It's still kind of blurry. At least I think it's blurry. Huh. Focus is not looking too well on this thing. Maybe if I zoom out a bit, I don't know. Anyway, oh wait. This is new. Okay, just go to continue. But anyway, to do this, you need to basically siphon off all that negative energy and convert it into positive energy. That's what you need to do. Doing this is, and especially when you be able to come self-aware to the point to where you can't ignore everything that they do. Yes, it's specific, but you got to understand the whole point of it is to capture your attention. The whole point of them doing what they're doing is to get you to notice. The whole point of them doing what they're doing is to make sure that you are aware that you're being surveyed, that you are being watched. So pretty much the best way to deal with it is to, how should I say, the best way to deal with this, pardon that, BioShock is gonna have a lot of crap like that in it, okay? But anyway, the two things that you need to know on how to get rid of this negative energy: Taiban singing bowls. There have many different videos on YouTube of a variety of different types that has this. You can find yourself that all over YouTube. That's another way to basically siphon off a lot of that negative energy and replace it with positive. In fact, those bowls are pretty expensive, but they are really effective. Now, other than the Taiban singing bowls, you also have binaural beats. They're starting to go after binaural beats because of how powerful it is now. Hang on, let me just get down there. Okay. Not good. I'm being... Oh, man. These machines. But you can basically use both of those to siphon off this negative energy. So what happens when you basically do the opposite of what this stuff does, right? In order to basically get a different perspective from this. Quite simple. You get the opposite. When you are completely filled with negative energy, you are at your most weakest. When you are filled with negative energy, you are at your most vulnerable, which allows them to basically be able to manipulate you a lot more easier than it would be when you are not that vulnerable. When you start to, put yourself with more positivity, right? That's when it makes it a lot more difficult for that technology to work. Now, there's several different types of music. Oh, wow. I just got knocked out the minute I walked up to her. Now, there's several different types of music you can use for this. Like Brian 2 was talking about Christian music. That is one of another ways that you can also use to basically just beat the crap out of the technology. It's very vulnerable which is why they bombard you so relentlessly with these weapons. It's very vulnerable, but they bombard you with these weapons like crazy simply because, it's to convince you that there's no way out. It's to convince you that, wow, dude. Okay, you know what? Different game. BioShock is getting a little bit too gruesome for me. effect. Hang on. Well, I forgot. Oh, choose that one. All right. But anyway, let's see. What I'm getting hit here is that you need to basically siphon off all of that negativity and replace it with positivity. Doing that will allow you to basically overcome this technology. And you also, the best time for you to do this is when you are going to go to sleep. Play some Taliban singing bowl song themes. Play some Christian music when you go to sleep. Play any of that. That stuff will help you deconstruct the programmed patternization that they are putting through your mind while you are asleep. And yes, they do this while you are asleep. Now, on top of that, a lot of this stuff also has to do with your health too. Oh wait, you know what? I got a better idea. Go back. Let's go to bonus content. Game add-ons. Clash. No, bury that C chapter 1. Yeah, I get it. Let's just keep this easy. Okay. But that's pretty much what you need to do. You need to basically change. You just got to change your diet, change the the type of stuff you're exposed to, what type of music you're listening to, and stuff like that. Like, and here's the thing: like, it can either be Christian music, or it can be rife frequency themes. Certain rife frequency themes can also promote and heighten your spiritual energy. Turn that volume down. But the most important thing is to basically start to ignore a lot of the crap that they do. Once you start doing that, you start to be able to comprehend a lot of things than before. Oh, hang on. I don't want to really interrupt this cutscene. But anyway, when you start to be able to do that, you'll find out that it's a lot easier for you to basically handle the situation. Now, when it comes to observation and reconnaissance, you need to have equipment that doesn't allow that you don't have to have it online just to record, and there's a good reason why. It's because, well, they'll just hack through that and basically delete the footage, corrupt the footage to where it's rendered useless, that you can't even use it. So you want to have it to where, like, they're not able to hack into a device that you are recording with, such as like a body camera. Have one on the back, have one in the front, and you're good to go. But having a cell phone, you got to understand, like, when you do that, I mean, they're going to just go ahead and screw it over. So basically, you're just giving them R&M data, and it defeats the purpose of getting the evidence in the first place. Look at my grocery shopping video. You saw me reacting to a lot of stuff I was talking, and I wasn't supposed to be talking. That's another, that's kind of a no-no right there. Not supposed to talk, because that gives them R&M data. You gotta remain calm. It's not easy, but it's possible.
What do you want? How about we start with a light?
Okay, I can barely see on this freaking screen. I hope it's at least seeable for everybody else. I wasn't really planning on doing this earlier, but I figured, what the hell, why not?
Elizabeth. You can call me Elizabeth.
What can I do for you?
There's a girl who needs to be found. Maybe you've seen her.
This girl's dead.
You know her.
You'll see dozens of her tied down by the docks or the slums in Apollo Square. Orphans. With Fontaine's charity shut. No place for them.
But her you know.
As I said, girl's dead.
Hang on. Another tactic you can use to also mess with the calibrations is really adjusting your breathing to where you're breathing in and out very fast. That messes with the calibrations of their weapons. Whenever you feel that heaviness build up with your head, like a lot of a lot of blood pressure or energy or something like that. Now, for TIs who are dealing with headaches, this is definitely for you, because I have experienced this myself. It is a pain, And some of you may have not have even experienced this. Trust me, you do not want to deal with that. There's also right frequencies for that as well. That's about the best thing you can use for that. Normally, I would, a normal doctor would tell you just to use some aspirin. Man, the pharmaceutical companies are mislabeling a lot of shit. So there's really no telling what's in what anymore. Some of the stuff that would be in this, some of the stuff would be in that. And I'm telling you, when it comes to this whole right against left thing, left against right thing, you got to understand there is corruption on both sides. There is no good side on either one. There are corruption on both sides. But the thing is, the main people who are within power are not going to let you see that. They'll let you see certain things. You think we would have seen? I mean, look how obvious that CNN is basically making this shit to see it, for everybody to see. Look at all of this stuff that is happening. Do you think this is just by coincidence? No, this is by design. They designed this stuff to be purposely shown for people to see. They want you to see this stuff. And then they're going to play it off like they don't want you to see it. They know what they're doing. The truth is they want people to get caught up in a civil war to kill each other. That's just what it is. I'm not an advocate of violence. I'm just an advocate of truth. And that's what that is. Now, let's see. Let me continue.
Lost.
Look, I don't know where you get...
Lost isn't dead. Name your rate, I will pay you for this work. You do this one gratis, wouldn't you?
Wow, the screen is not looking right
Something
at
tells
all.
me you will.
It could be due to the brightness outside. I don't know. It's like in the middle, damn near in the middle, like 3 to 4 o'clock by now. Okay. Yeah.
Seems my instincts were correct.
Where's Sally?
I don't know. But I know someone who does. Follow me.
Another thing, to all my fellow African Americans out there, you need to understand this. I mean no disrespect in any way, shape, or form, but this needs to be said. If no one else is going to tell you, then I'm going to tell you. The N-word, right? You need to really, really question that motive as to why something like that would ever be brought up to be publicly said and publicly acceptable. Start really questioning that, because when you start to question that, you start to understand, like, why would a word? And like, I get it. They say that it's not the same word, but still, there's a huge difference here. We all had a word long since before that shit, right? We did. The word was simple, and there was more than one. My brother or my sister from another mother. That implies not to just black folk, that implies to everybody. So really think about it. When you see the Black Lives Matter movement out there doing the shit that they're doing, when you see these looters who are like doing this shit behind the scenes, and you see black looters, you don't just see black looters, you see white looters too. You see all of this shit, man. You see mixed races of this doing this, and yet they're trying to make it like a one-sided thing. It's not a one-sided thing. There are people from many different races doing this shit to everybody. It could be black, it could be Hispanic, it could be Caucasian, Japanese, Chinese, you name it, German, Ireland, everybody from every individual race, even Italian, everybody from every individual race is playing their part for this one world order bullshit. That is the issue what we're dealing with. It isn't no white against black. They want you to buy into that shit so that you can basically, just fight a war and waste your life for nothing, man. Instead, promote do some research for yourself. Stop buying into the shit that they're feeding you, But what I'm really getting at here is that you gotta really think about it. We had a word, my brother or my sister from another mother. Why would they start using the N-word instead of that? Why is it that when it comes to the rap music, and when gangster rap came out of nowhere, it was promoting violence? Think about it.
What happened to these children?
They were trying to program you guys to be violent, man. That's what they were doing.
little sisters. Atom
Wow,
factories.
this,
It's grotesque.
I really don't like the quality of this. Let me, maybe the brightness is just too much. And again, it's not coming out too clear either.
Means go. This is the rule. All little girls.
Compromise? Is that why we came to Rapture? I could compromise in Red Hook. We're just men and women now.
Come on. We haven't got all day.
I can't even tell where I'm going.
What do they even look like under those?
Well, I say you should have to prove your
Oh yeah, another thing. The detoxing is also another thing as well. But also, if you guys haven't heard, because I don't know how many people know about this, I did spread the information out as best I can. Do not, and I repeat, do not use
Eyes and ears, don't you?
Kaleido Silver from the from any pharmaceutical company, because what's happening with
I
that,
learned anything about Rapture.
you've got
It was a place where people understood to
You've
mind
got
their own
people. You got
business.
people in those industries who are mislabeling Kaleido, mislabeling nano silver as Kaleido silver.
Better information as to
And
whereabouts
judging from the
they were.
research, it definitely has a lot of damaging effects to the testicles. That nano silver, you do not want that. Now you can call a pharmaceutical company to find out, but honestly, with how many people is being paid off, they
When's the
probably
last
just
time
gonna
you saw
lie.
Sally? She
That's
was
just
taken
that's
from
just
you
my
as a
assumption.
child.
But you know what they say
She was
about
taken
assuming. It
down
makes
to
an asshole out of
Paris.
both you and me. You know.
You were playing the tables,
She disappeared.
and
Cop
Honestly, a
found
lot
her.
of people got that
Sullivan
problem nowadays.
says they found her floating in the
They
dark.
just
Did you see the
assume,
body?
assume,
Did you
assume,
see
assume, assume,
the
and it
body?
just doesn't stop.
this world values children, not childhood. There's a profit to be made and men who make it. I'm taking you to one of them. Mr. DeWitt, you all right?
I'm fine. Just get these spells sometimes. It'll pass.
refreshments, madam.
We're fine, thanks.
I ain't gonna get around. They must be putting a lot, with all the shit that's happening for fellow TIs, they are putting a lot of fucking money into that. A lot. Can you imagine how pissed off they would be if a target individual actually escaped?
Mr. DeWitt,
They have absolutely no idea where he or she got off to or ran off to. They have no idea. Can't find them. Don't know where they are. And you know something? I actually had the chance of doing that. I actually ditched them so badly. They had to bring out the fucking police.
private party.
They had to bring out the
No entry
fucking
without
fire
invitation.
department. And it wasn't just them. I didn't even know what the hell it was at first, because at the time I was still unaware. I knew it was being followed and shit, and I was trying to figure out what the hell was really going on. All of a sudden, I'm walking out and I'm seeing that shit. I'm like, no way.
Which business do you represent, sir?
Business?
Yes, which business?
DeWitt Investigations.
Mr. Cohen does not truck with private detectives. Masks of invitation went to artists and craftsmen alone.
I'm with the artist struggle. We're expected.
No mask, no entry.
Stuffed shirt.
These invitation masks he spoke of, they must have gone out to local artisans.
Oh man, I am not a fan of that
Guess we'll have to
noise.
persuade someone to loan us one.
That's
Business
reminding me of that
options
chick from The
business.
Ring.
Says it's sponsored by the
Oh,
Artist
man.
Struggle, the Golden Rule, and Rapture Records.
Okay, what other tips can I give you all? I guess the best thing to really do is to have a camera in front of you and behind you whenever you go out. Whenever you oh, looks like we got some new people join the chat. Oh, I guess not. There's one that left. And how do I? Oh, okay.
What brought you to Rapture?
A man
Really? You don't strike me as the romantic type.
wasn't that kind of man.
Then what?
There's a debt that needs repaying.
I've known my share of Shylocks. You're no Shylock.
Another tip for fellow TIs: always keep an audio recorder on you. I've always said this before, and I'm gonna say it again. Whenever you go out, always keep some sort of audio recorder.
Invitations to Cohen shows are highly coveted. Nobody's gonna just hand us one.
You think you could figure out a way to
find the mask. Leave the distractions to me.
Good day to you, sir.
Excuse me. The lady has some questions for you.
Yes, of course.
I'm interested in this piece.
Ah, excellent. You've an eye, haven't you, miss? It's a natural sapphire and diamond, 18-karat gold ring, fully hallmarked for Paris.
Now that I think about
That's a
it,
lot of fine talk about a stolen ring.
I beg your pardon.
now that I think about it, that wasn't the
Did you think we wouldn't notice?
Cohen sends those masks
Wow.
out in some kind
The
of box.
appearances of a grave robber are of no interest to me. You hand the ring back, the matter will
Must be
remain
somewhere
between
else.
you and me.
that one incident wasn't the actually only
I
time.
don't think so. Hit the bricks, you tramp. Or I'll see to it they hit you.
Oh wait, I got a bad feeling about.
Off me!
Nope. Yeah.
Might be best if we were gone when he wakes up. Any luck?
Nothing. Let's find another shop.
Hang on. Another thing that I had realized, right? That wasn't the only time I actually was able to ditch them. There was like I stated before, there was that first time where like they had to get the police, the freaking fire department, and the ambulance too. Dude, they got that many fucking people out there to find a fucking target individual. One person. One fucking person. Now do the math. How much did they charge people for an ambulance? How much did they charge for that? Man. It's crazy though. The other thing is well, the other time that this happened was a bit earlier from that incident. And when this happened, this was like as early around as like 4 o'clock in the morning, from like 4 to 5 in the morning. And I'm sitting there, they thinking I'm just gonna, go off to either the, let's go straight to the bus station. No. What I did was simply, what I simply did was that I walked off into a blind spot, and then I hid myself within that blind spot, right? And I went into an area where I didn't normally go. Now, with me going into that area I don't normally go, they didn't know where the fuck I was at. The entire time I just sat there. I just stood there in the darkness, in an area where they couldn't see me. I was in camouflage, and I'm seeing cars pace back and forth. The same fucking cars. Literally going up and down the street. Even on the other side of and there were train tracks on the other side of this street too. There were train tracks there, and there were like this little forest preserve area too. And on the other side of that shit, there was a parking lot to a medical clinic, a large area for a medical clinic actually. Because they can't. I don't think that was. It may have been a hospital though. I don't know. It may have been a hospital. But I'm noticing cars park. Go back and forth, and then I start to see a guy go out of the house out of nowhere, like he was instructed to go out there and look around and shit, right? So I'm like, these motherfuckers really. It's really possible to ditch them. It's really possible to ditch them. It's really possible to lose them. They're not as quick as you think. You see, they rely on too much of camera technology. They rely on too much on numbers. And they don't think that some of these people aren't as fast or quick on their feet. But here's the other thing. What happens when you do try to get away and you catch these motherfuckers chasing you on film and they can't hack away at that shit? They can't delete the footage. How do you explain that? Why are there people chasing you in the first place, right? Like, you would wonder about that. Like, why are people chasing you? Especially citizens, too. Why would they be doing that? You see the obviousness of that? You got to give them a reason to basically break character. When you give them a reason to break character, they can't discredit the shit anymore. But I don't recommend to just be reckless with this and just do it at any given time. No, because any type of action as a reaction to their shit counts as R&M data. You got to be able to condition yourself to not act out like that. You know, you got to do it like that. Just give me a second. I gotta go get the other micro SD card in order for me to play the other stuff that I got on there. I would have finished that BioShock game, but that's kind of dark, you know. So I'm gonna play something else. Ooh, man, I tell you, the more and more desperate these people are towards target individuals, the more and more I come to the realization that these people lose out on a shit ton of money if they let a TI escape. And I mean a lot. That's why they're so desperate. I know this shit. And they know that I do have the capabilities of getting the fuck away from them if I actually want it, whenever I need to, actually. They know this because I did it twice. I did it twice. And they think I can't do it again. Those were 2 times that I've done that. Basically, let me give you some tips too. If you ever try to find yourself getting away from these assholes, you see they track your phone, right? So you want to know what you can do? Who said you can't use that phone as a decoy to send their ass off somewhere else while they tracking that motherfucker? You going out in the opposite direction with none of that tracking shit on you. That's a strategy. But you want that on a movable object. I recommend you throw something like that, like on a train. Throw something like, or better yet, a car. A random car would be a lot better for that. But, you know, that's what telling me if that person's whose car that would be on is a part of that bullshit or not. You never know. But when it comes to trying to really get away from them, you definitely want to be careful with what you're bringing with you, because tracking technology means they'll just follow you out there. Now, this is a solid warning to anybody who follows me if I go off grid. Understand this: when you are in the community, right? And this is fair. This is a fair warning too. When you're out in the community, you are subjugated to the laws there. But when you're off grid, out of the jurisdiction of the law, and you're going out to do some harm, I don't think this side of bullshit can help you. Because at that point, if a person catches you seeing to do harm onto them or their family, hell, even within the city limits, if you are caught trying to do harm to any of them, they are within their rights to literally beat the hell out of you in self-defense. But that's if the person is attempting to do a threat like that. Now, when they're off the grid, you got to understand the whole area changes. They don't have the comfortability of covertness anymore. They don't have that comfortability anymore. They don't. Instead, the thing changes around to where, screw it. This is probably a lot more different, a change pace, I guess. Not pace, but not paste, but pace. Yeah, I think when you go off grid, like it's just like as I said before, like when you're in a more secluded area, you tend to get a lot more good evidence, but it's a lot more dangerous there too. But when you're in a more crowded area, they tend to be more covert because there's too many people around. They don't want people catching wind of what they're doing, because then they're going to be looking at them like, well, what the fuck are you doing? I remember a fellow TI told me that he went out of town. Oh wow, it's snowing? Crazy. It's not even, we're already up to snow season? That's crazy. We're not even it's nowhere near, wow. Now, what's weird about this is that it's supposed to like copy the. Why is it? Why the crap is it snowing, man? Okay, anyway. When the difference is when you like are off grid, a lot of the stuff that they would use against you, they don't have that option anymore. Like vehicles and shit, well, you would hear that. There's no other loud things going on out there. Another sign to keep an eye out for: when the crickets at night or in the day stop chirping around your campsite, you better arm yourself, because that's a sign that someone is out there lurking about, or something is out there lurking about. Can't believe how blurry this thing is. But I was warned that the HD on this wasn't that good, so that's probably why. Not to mention that it's like day light out right now anyway. Wow, I cannot believe it is freaking snowing. It's not even snowing outside where I live at all. But I guess it's snowing everywhere else. Man. I did not even see what he just said. Okay, let me think. Okay, how are flowers preserved during the winter? There was one project I was thinking about, but I figured like just no because of the extremeness of it. Basically, I guess to give you an idea of it, it was basically electric shock arrows that is possible to build. You just need they got to be metallic based arrows or somewhat copper wise arrows, and as long as you got the right thing on the end of it, it'll work. But I'm not nah. I think I'm gonna probably just build the coil gun and just end it off with that as that project. But the people who hadn't seen the other thing I built, now I've showed this before. Let me see here, and let me get my hand right away from that damn blade. As you see at the end there, that is a zapper on the end of the hilt of the blade, as attempts for self-defense from the rear and from the side in case someone's coming from the side. So instead of them, like trying to hit them with the blade, you could basically just zap them with the end of that. I'm not advocating violence. I'm just saying that like when you want to make badass weaponry, you want to make sure that you basically have protection on your blind sides too. Oh, okay. Now, when I do this, I don't know if you can hear that. Hang on. Let me just, if you can hear that, it works, but the issue that I've got, and I don't really think that's why, is because the two blades are too close to one another. I don't think that's what it is. I think it may be a circuitry issue, but I'm not getting a current through this thing. So somewhere at some point, something is just not kicking off. I'm sure I'll figure it out where it is, but anyway. In fact, let me cut this damn thing off before I accidentally electrocute myself. Don't want that happening. Okay. Anyway, there you go. This is just for people who hadn't seen it. That is the taser sword. And for other things, I actually also built this too, as you can see. Electric shock glove, I already showed that off. Now then, generators. If you're going off grid, you definitely want to have yourself a generator. As you see here, the one that I got is called the in fact, where is that name? NextPal. As you see right there on the side, it's got a built-in cooling system right there as well. It's got your on. Oh, you know what? Let me not aim that towards the camera. As you can see, counter. Now, there's one other thing I need to point out about some light fixtures and stuff like that. Little do people know, they put subliminal messaging and mind control technology through your street lights and through your smart television sets. A lot of this is done from the what's that blue screen that you see on your television. When you see that, you see this is why. I bet you all noticed that when they said like you would no longer be able to like watch TV on the old style televisions. Like everybody has to like switch to smart TVs. That's what that was about. As for when they did the shit with the street lights, I don't even know, because I didn't even realize that that's what that was. And this could have been like a long time ago since they were first introduced. Probably not. Probably were. But a lot of this is all going back to Project Bluebeam. Apparently, it's quite a lot about that. Okay. Whew, I still got a lot of equipment I gotta get. I gotta get my tent. I gotta get my fucking fishing poles. Not to mention the axes, the shovels. I guess getting an extra bucket would help. I've already got a dolly, so that's already also taken care of. Other than that, there is one other. If you're planning on going off grid, you're definitely gonna. I don't think I've showed this, but you're definitely gonna want one of these. As you can see here, I got the fire starter here, and then you just basically check this. You chip away at that, and it starts. Now, you definitely want to have a fire starter with you whenever you do go out. That's definitely important. Let me just see here for a second. Apparently, and I hope everybody saw that video that I posted earlier, because that channel has a lot of useful information that basically shows that it basically has a lot of information showing exactly who's responsible for the gang stalking and exactly like how to go about it legally to basically get them to stop their crap. In order for it to stop, you got to go to the people who's basically paying them off, obviously. Okay. Okay. Oh wow, it's like almost 5 o'clock. I might end this live stream around 5. I would rather have this to where it could be a chat in the midst of this. I don't know. Can there be a chat? Oh, there is a chat. Well, what do you know? No way. I had no idea. So that's how you activate the freaking chat. Okay, now I feel dumb. Wow. Okay, 10 foil hatter. I see you there. I see you there. Wow, I had no idea. Okay then, I'm glad I know now. Spell. Oh, what is this? Oh, there's, okay, so Tansy was in there. Wow. I had no freaking idea that that's all I had to do just to basically see the comments. Now I'm learning something new. Wow. Alright, so I guess I can see everybody's comments. Unbelievable. Okay, I guess I just continue. I can't believe I can't believe that's like the darn thing was just right there the whole freaking time. Looks like RV there yet was here too as well. Anyway, to the people, I had no idea that like the chat button was right there. Wow. I guess you learn something every day. Yeah, I definitely gotta be careful with that stuff. Not an advocate of violence in any way, but like I always love to tinker around with electronics. It's been a hobby that I never even told my family about that, by the way. They didn't even know about it, but I mean, since they know about the channel, they probably know now. Oh man. Okay. Sorry, Trunks, but you gotta go. See. Yikes. Well, I'm glad I know that I can definitely see a chat. At least I'll be able to deal with that in the future now. Wow. Better yet, I got a better idea. Let me fix this tripod. And no, I'm not trying to type a message. Wow. Okay. That should be... Hold on. Aha. Nah, I'm not gonna do that, Goku. I cannot believe the freaking chat was right there the whole time. Oh, man.
I'm starting to get the feeling that we've just found the base. Huh? Watch out! So, you're here at last.
16, it's you! It's really you! So tell me, do you have your old memories? You do! You remember us! I can tell!
So what if I do?
Wait a second. What are you saying? It means that you're the 16 that we've always known. Remember when we fought side by side all those years ago? Why are you helping the Red Ribbon Army? I mean, that's insane!
There is no need for me to answer.
This guy reminds me too much of Terminator.
Wait! We don't want to fight you, 16! Just walk away from this nonsense with the strange waves and the clones!
Your motives are not relevant. If you will not engage, I will.
This should be a great fight! It's all or nothing! Fight!
Try hard.
I knew it! You never planned on killing us after all, did you? Right from the start, you lacked that killer instinct. Had you figured in a flash. It's like Goku says, 16 isn't fighting because he wants to. And if he's being controlled by the army, that means we can be friends again.
Apologies, but I cannot leave the army. I cannot let that monster run amok.
Monster?
Yes, the Red Ribbon Army's current leader, Android 21.
You're saying there's an Android 21?
Ooh, wait a minute. It's like almost 5. I think I'm gonna end this here. Take care, everybody.